Hey, we're back with Klark Kurz and Kyle Kaspar with Tonight Holdings. I feel like I should be introducing you guys as I've known these guys for years. We got lots of mutual friends. We bought and sold a bunch of houses together. But actually, we just met. And by met, it was like a phone call in the height of COVID. And talking with y'all, I realized how have we, this isn't that big of a town and we do the same things. I would have swore we would have bumped into each other long before now, but I'm just so glad that we met because we've already done, I don't know, 2 or 3 deals together just since COVID hit. So welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who can give the best 30-second elevator pitch?
Yeah, I'll start. Our business started 4 years ago. We started out buying rentals. We do a little bit of everything now, new construction, rentals, seller financing. Our name, Tanzanite, comes from a gemstone. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, but it's kind of random, but we get asked a lot, what's your name? Where did it come from? A purple gemstone. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm crossing that off on my list of questions now.
Yeah.
So that was Kyle talking. So we got Klark. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Well, I was not in the Army. You got your stuff, and I was like, I've got a crazy painting for my sister and a piano and a keyboard, and I took the guitar down off the wall so that it wouldn't look like a straight music studio in here.
That was you playing in the BRIC, right?
Yeah. No, we've been friends since school, and I don't know. It took me a year or so of trying to convince Kyle to go into business with me, and here we are a few years later, and we've really enjoyed knowing you, Keith, and I think we have bought 3 properties from you guys, and that's not for lack of trying to buy more.
Yeah, no kidding. And some of them were tight that we had been working on for a few years and that were really thin. And my partner Jeff, who I think is watching us but not here in the studio, when we told you about them, it was like, they're kind of thin. So if somebody who was new, just first deal, came up and tried to make them work, we might have said, this kind of thin, we couldn't get it any cheaper, and it took us a year to even get it at that. But you guys already sold one of them already?
Yeah, so we actually sold one yesterday, and the other we've got under contract to sell. So they've gone really well, and I don't want to jump the gun and start talking about business COVID, but they both have gone better than expected.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And we got a call from like around the corner from one of them. And I think, Kyle, you met us out there. We're still working that one. But curious to see how that one out back there does, just because that little pocket neighborhood is pretty neat. So like I was talking with Rob, they were blowing and going during COVID. You guys were too. So tell us about that. Why, some people were hoarding their money, not sure what they were going to do, and you guys are out buying, straight buying.
Yeah. Well, I think it might look a little deceptive. The first couple months of COVID was, oh shoot, are we going to make it? And really, we had more properties for sale in March than we've ever had at any one time. And seeing a pandemic and shutdowns and wondering, is there going to be any supply of lending? And we were really fortunate. A couple of our more expensive homes that we were selling sold like February, March, and feel like we barely got them closed before. We had one where the lender started picking apart little details to delay closing, stuff that we had never seen before. Neither realtor or brokers involved had ever seen delaying a closing, but we got that stuff sold, and then we kind of caught our breath, cried off a little bit of the trauma, looked at each other and said, should we dive back in and go for the next ones? And we're glad we did.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, are you guys doing anything different now as a result of COVID, or something you think you won't go back to? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say one of the lessons we've learned, not just because of COVID in general, but COVID reinforced it, is spending less money on the front end. So that might be buying a cheaper property rather than a big, ginormous house, or maybe buying a lot and sitting on it until the right time, a month later, 3 months later. But that's one of the lessons we've learned. And so right now we're kind of we're getting small stuff, and it takes more work, but it's safer feeling.
Yeah. So Adam on YouTube asked what some unexpected or your biggest unexpected expenses in your flips starting out.
I think this is a little embarrassing to say, but it's just the truth. On our first flip, we didn't bother to really take a good look at the foundation. And, like, if you want to know the gold star rookie mistake you can make, and it's just not even looking. And that one kind of ate our lunch. So look at the foundation. Have a decent foundation guy come inspect it, and by decent foundation guy, not just one that wants to adjust every foundation that's ever been poured, but someone who will tell you this one can pass. You're gonna rent it. Well, there's nothing wrong. Buy it, rent it.
Yeah, if we were in-house, I'd be pointing at Walt, one of our sponsors, and Brazos Valley Solutions, and I can't tell you how many times he's come out and looked at one of ours and given me a thumbs up and hopped in his car, and sometimes I'm standing there with the seller, and he knows I need your number to negotiate. I love your sketch, all that stuff later, but he's slipped me a little post-it note with a number like 6,500 on it, and as I'm talking, but not always, and that's what I like too. It's nope, this is good. This is good when you should buy it. So
same we've worked with, and same story. We have skipped out on some really bad deals with his help. So we learned our lesson.
Yeah, I think the starting out getting an inspector is great for the price of forfeit. Well, Waltz is free, but the general inspection, because the buyer you sell to is going to hire an inspector. So, and you might as well have somebody look and touch everything, because if you don't touch it, nobody going to touch it till that buyer's inspector. Where do y'all buy? What's your sweet spot? What are you guys looking for?
Well, my disclaimer is that we buy anything if the deal makes sense and if the numbers shake out. But Kyle was saying we have been targeting lower dollar values. So I'd say anything after repair value of 100 to 175 has been kind of our sweet spot. And so hopefully we're paying as low as $1,000 for that house. No, that's wishful thinking. But that's kind of been our sweet spot lately.
Yeah. We steer away from
so
400s.
Yeah, that's where we've gotten burned.
Yeah. So Jeff and I dabbled in that 400 range. That was from a tax sale or a trustee sale, and we did all right on it. We didn't take it to retail rehab, and I think that we just cleaned it up and sold it as a project for someone else. But yeah, that rehab, high-end rehab, everything's more expensive. Yeah. So so this question up here is there an insatiable demand? And I'll let y'all answer. And I think that's where you're looking for deals, I think. But what would y'all say to that?
Yeah, we bought a house in Bryan off Highway 21 for 130 something thousand just a few months ago, and I saw on Monday the same house, same floor plan, 2 houses down was like $25,000 more. I don't know if
Wow.
that, but that shows you within a few months, prices have gone up in the teens percentage wise, and you know, yeah. So there's a lot of demand for the right house. Yeah.
Yeah.
So besides Check the Foundation, if Clark and Kyle were Bill and Ted and this was your movie and you went back in time, talked to y'all just starting out, uh, and one of y'all said inspect the foundation, what would the other thing be?
What do you think?
That's a good question. I would say have a really good AC guy, because
Oh my God.
a lot of AC companies are really expensive and they may do a good job, but they're gonna charge you an arm and a couple legs. But we found if you can find the guy that does it on the side and he's trustworthy, and he's just gonna charge you what's fair.
But still licensed.
Yeah, license
That's
is
important.
good.
Yeah.
That's one on your team, and that's a big cost in any house. Yeah.
Yeah, that, and I think um, I don't know. This isn't like something to change if I was talking to younger selves, but I would just try to encourage us. Um, it has served us really well to be uh, vulnerable and honest with contractors, buyers, and sellers. Like instead of trying to pull a fast one and make an extra dollar on this deal or pay a little less on that one, and trying to get this hardline deal negotiated, it just has really served us well to uh, develop a reputation and relationships with people where people can trust us. Yeah, I mean, we tell people we will make money on this. Hopefully, we'll make a lot. We're not in it to donate our time so that someone gets the top dollar on their sale, but we want everyone to walk away saying, "Yeah, we do it again," and hopefully, we'll do the next one with you. And so I think I would just encourage us, like, don't lose sleep over, did you get the perfect deal? Did you get a fair deal? And
Yeah.
that
So tell me a war story besides your foundation, uh, let's say involving animals. Any animal war stories on your projects? And maybe this will help you. One of the houses we bought that from heirs of a guy who passed away, that guy had dogs, and it's one of the local relatives was still going by there and feeding the dog. So it was a vacant house knocked down with a dog inside the fence, and it delayed closing by a couple weeks because we had to figure out how to get rid of this dog, which I learned a lot. And cats. I now know how to get rid of like 50 cats and a dog. But how about y'all?
Yeah, we've had a couple interesting stories. One that comes to mind is we've learned that if a tenant has an emotional support animal, you want to allow that, and you don't want to fight it too much, because if you fight it, their parents get involved, or they say, oh, they threaten you or something. It's like, okay,
So
you're
that's a
kind of,
student. That's a student rental.
yeah, yeah.
What
So
what kind of animal? I'm guessing it's not a dog.
uh, yeah, usually dogs. Nothing.
yeah yeah
I thought you were gonna say emotional support cockatiel or something.
a ferret something.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
I don't think we've had too many horrible run-ins with animals. I mean, we've had a couple of beehives, and you walk away with a little honey. That's I actually, we haven't had a lot of beehives, but the couple we've had, I was really excited. Um, but yeah, not too many animal things. We've had a squatter in a house that was for sale and had someone living in it for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. And
a squatter, you said?
yeah, a squatter, someone that was living in
Yeah.
our houses.
Yeah. So one of the houses we wanted, I don't think y'all went out and looked at it, but we sold it and it was supposed to close. What is it now? Tuesday, yesterday, and the tenant's still in it. So and the tenant's related. So I'm hoping that he leaves but at least this closing's getting delayed. We've had them in there after we own it, and that's not always ideal. So about to wrap it up, but just what do you think? Parting comments. I'll give you each, but just for the investors out there, you guys are doing a great job. And what kind of nugget would you pass along to the group tonight?
Yeah, my thought is just to have fun with what you're doing. It can be real serious when you're dealing with properties and people, and there's always hard stuff. But get your bankers to take you out to lunch. Do fun maintenance stuff yourself. Get out of town. Go to Home